Hello, my fellow gamers and horror film fans. I'm Mike C, and welcome into the Chrono Cabin. So last weekend, I dove into the Alan Wake Remaster. I am playing this on my PS5, and I gotta preface this video by saying I have never played Alan Wake before. So I never played it on the Xbox 360, so this is just my experience playing the Alan Wake Remaster as a first-time Alan Wake player. And to be honest, I'm kind of happy about that, because I'm happy to be able to experience Alan Wake in this remastered form for the very first time. And just a little introduction to Alan Wake in case some of you haven't played Alan Wake either and are thinking about picking up this game. The story basically goes like this. Alan Wake is a famous writer who travels with his wife Alice to this small town called Bright Falls in Washington. And he's going there to try to relax and overcome a case of severe writer's block. And quickly, the game falls into this nightmare state where you're not really sure if he's in a dream or if he's awake. It's kind of a jumbling of reality. And everything that's happening to him in this nightmare state seems to be happening from his own writing. So it's like Alan Wake is actually writing a book that is becoming the reality around him, and he is in the actual story that he's writing. So kind of a cool concept, and overall I gotta say that I'm really enjoying the overall environment of the game. I think the game looks very cinematic at times. I like the long sweeping location shots, the beautiful score. Frankly, it's kind of like playing a Stephen King movie. Actually, the vibe of the game kind of reminds me a little bit of the show Twin Peaks. Also, maybe a little bit of the first few seasons of the X-Files. In the first few seasons, they actually filmed that show in Canada, and I felt like it had a really beautiful look to it, and I think the same thing in this game. It's got a very nice look to the overall surrounding environment. One of the things I really like in games is actually looking at the finer details, and I think this game, as linear as it is, there's a lot of nice little details that you can look at along the way. Now, I can't say too much about the facial expressions. I mean, the facial expressions kind of still seem a little bit stiff, and they do seem a little last gen. The cinematic cuts actually look pretty good, but it's basically when you're playing in-game as the characters, I feel like the characters are a little stiff, and it's a little hard to kind of control where Alan ends up. And by that I mean, I was talking to this fine gentleman on the ferry, and I was trying to angle my character, Alan Wake's character, so that it was actually like he was talking with the guy, and I ended up in this kind of awkward position where the guy was talking to me and it looked like I was just staring off into the sunset, and the guy was talking to me and I was just ignoring him, so I was being very rude. Small details though, it doesn't really matter I guess where you're standing as long as you're just kind of listening to the dialogue. But again, these minor details, they don't really detract anything for me, because I really am enjoying the story. And if you're like me and you like story in games and you like a little bit of action too, this is a nice balance. It's, as I was talking about Resident Evil Village, I feel like there's this perfect balance of action and story. And you know, in a lot of ways, this game actually does kind of remind me of some of the Resident Evil games, in the sense that it's a relatively shorter game to play, and mostly it's very similar in the fact that you kind of step into this character and you really don't know what's going on. You kind of figure it out as your character's figuring it out. So as you progress through the game, you learn more and more. That's actually kind of what I liked about Days Gone too, is that you kind of slowly start putting the pieces together of what kind of happened in the past, and or what's actually happening to you at that moment. So I really do like that aspect of Alan Wake. And again, you know, Alan Wake, it's a very similar survival horror type game. The only other thing I have is that the controls, I think the shooting mechanism is a little clunky. It feels almost to me like it's almost like an older GTA game before Rockstar kind of really fine-tuned their shooting system. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it's kind of in between it. But I'm playing this game on normal, and it is not detracting from the game at all for me. In other words, I'm not like dying a lot. I'm an average gamer. I'm not winning any contests here. And you know, I'm not that great. You could probably kick my ass at any fighting game, or if I'm online playing with you, you'll kick my ass easily, probably. But I'm not like dying over and over again. I'm actually being able to progress in this game, and the controls don't really bother me. In fact, I'm kind of used to them at this point. So the controls, maybe they could have improved them a little bit, but they're not bad. They're not bad. It doesn't detract from the game for me at all. This game, I think, is great to play any time of year, but I think it's particularly perfect to play right around Halloween. So if you're in Halloween month, which we are, it's a great game to pick up because it really does have that vibe. I mean, you're fighting these crazy demons that are cloaked in darkness, and their voices change by the octave all the time. It's very creepy, and it's perfect for the Halloween type vibe. In fact, when I was talking about the PlayStation Showcase, I was hoping this game would come out before Halloween, and luckily it did. It came out right at the beginning of Halloween month, so that's when I pretty much started playing it, and I'm having a great time with it. And one thing I do have to say is that I think the lighting in this game looks really good, and I think this is where the ray tracing kind of shines, because really, light is your friend in this game. Light is pretty much how you regenerate your energy, and light is how you destroy the darkness around the demons so that they become vulnerable, so that then you can shoot them. So you essentially shoot them with light, and then you just shoot the crap out of them with your weapons. And there's not a lot of weapons in this game. I don't really mind that. You want a lot of weapons, you can play a game like Borderlands. Fine, you'll get your fill there. This is more, again, like Resident Evil. There's not a lot of weapons. In fact, I think in Resident Evil Village, that's the most weapons I have seen in a Resident Evil game. But in this game, you know, just having a few weapons is not a big deal. I don't mind it. I think it's still interesting. And again, it's really story driven, which is what I really enjoy. In fact, one thing that's kind of interesting in this game, which some people might find annoying, is sometimes when you're facing a demon and you're fighting like some demons that are running at you, all of a sudden one will come up right in back of you, but you have no way of knowing that it's in back of you, and it'll just slash you. So you'll have a demon that just comes out of nowhere from behind. It could be annoying in some ways, I guess, but to me, I kind of like it because it's an extra element of surprise. And again, I'm able to get through the game no problem. I mean, like, I'll take the hit and then, you know, I'll turn around and then shoot the crap out of that demon, and then I'll go back to fighting the others. By the way, the flare gun comes in really handy in this game, because if you have multiple demons running at you, you can just knock them all out with that one flare gun. It's actually pretty cool. And the lighting on that flare gun just looks really nice and brilliant. I just love it. Again, that's where the ray tracing comes in. And also another thing that I really like in this game is the fact that you keep kind of finding these little pieces of manuscript that Alan is apparently writing, and they're kind of like little foreshadowings in the game, and it kind of warns you of what's to come. There's not a lot of things that you look for in this game besides your ammunition and just your batteries. And batteries, mind you, you go through batteries more than a cowboy goes through canned beans. Am I right or am I right? I feel like Duracell would have a field day marketing this game, because every time you pick up a battery, you can see the Duracell battery. But then I thought to myself, well, actually, now that I think about it, like, it probably wouldn't be good for Duracell to put their name on it, because you go through batteries so much. It would be like saying, hey, Duracell batteries, you go through them like a cowboy goes through canned beans, which probably wouldn't be good. But yeah, that's another thing too. I did hear that in this game they took a lot of the major branding out of the game. They couldn't renew the branding, I guess, so you see a lot of very generic names for things that would ordinarily probably have brand names in it, which is fine. I don't care about that. Sometimes generic names can be funny. But let's get another perspective besides me, huh? So, hey, Billy, what's your favorite part of the game?
I like shining the flashlight, and I also like watching the TVs.
Okay, I can see that. Especially the TVs. Yeah, you know what else is kind of funny in this game is there's not many items you pick up in this game besides the manuscript papers, the ammo for your weapons, and the batteries for the lights. But you do come across these nice little coffee canisters in the game. And I don't know, it's just kind of funny to me because, like, the coffee canisters, they replenish your health a little bit. I don't really use them that much because mostly light is what replenishes your health. And I usually get under a light, and I don't need a coffee canister, but I guess someone in the game just liked coffee. I don't know. It just seems strange to me. And it's all the same brand of coffee container. Another thing I kind of like is you come across these radios, in the game, and you can play the radios, and a lot of times you'll hear commentary from, you know, just a local DJ, and you get this kind of small town feel because it's like a local radio DJ doing a night show. But yeah, I don't know why I like that so much. It's one of those details that I just really kind of enjoy in the game. Now, will you like playing the remaster of Alan Wake if you've already played the game? I have no idea. I'm trying to put myself in the situation like, hey, if I played this game years ago, would I want to revisit it? And so far as I'm playing through this plot line, if it's been a number of years since I played this game, I would probably say, yes, why not? I'll revisit this. I mean, the game is $30, and I think it's $30 well spent. I mean, especially if you've never played Alan Wake and you like horror survival games. I think 30 bucks, it goes a long way. And in my opinion, besides being a great game to play around Halloween, this is also just a game that you could pick up if you're in between games. It's not a super long game, and it's a game that you can kind of really get immersed in. So I don't know, whatever you think about this game, let me know. Let me know if you've played the game and if you're playing it now and if you think it's worth it. I'd love to hear your comments on it. My channel isn't so much of a review channel. It's more just me talking to you about what I like. But it's just my own opinion and also what horror movies I like. But we can get an actual review perspective from Mr. Yeti. So on a scale of 1 to 5 Yeti thumbs, let's see how many Yeti thumbs up Mr. Yeti gives this game. 3.5 Yeti thumbs up. I would probably agree with that. And Mr. Yeti is very particular. Very stinky and very particular. But yes, 3.5 Yeti thumbs up. I think that's a fair assessment of this game. I really am finding myself intrigued by what's going to happen in the game. So I'm continuing to play it. I'm kind of relaxing with it, enjoying it during this fine Halloween month. So anyway, everyone, if you like my channel, please subscribe. Please give my video a thumbs up, and please ring that bell for future notifications whenever I release new videos. Until then, keep enjoying playing your video games, keep enjoying those horror movies, and keep enjoying life, my friends.